Hello! Welcome back to Scam Watch, the podcast series where we have a jolly good time wasting the time of no good scammer scum. This month, for the first time, we have a part 1. Why a part 1? What? Why would you upload a part 1 instead of just finishing the video? Bit lazy, innit? Fuck off! No! The reason why this is a part 1 is because A, this is a deeply complex scam, and B, it hasn't even run its course yet. In a change from our previous 3 episodes, which have all featured advanced fee scams, this month we're looking at an email Peter received from Elisa Berg, which very quickly revealed itself to be an attempt at a romance scam. Action Fraud describes a romance scam as people being duped into sending money to criminals who go to great lengths to gain their trust and convince them that they are in a genuine relationship. They use language to manipulate, persuade, and exploit so that requests of money do not raise alarm bells. These requests might be highly emotive, such as criminals claiming they need money for emergency medical care or to pay for transport costs for them to visit the victim if they were overseas. Scammers will often build a relationship with their victims over time. In other words, these fuckers are nasty little shits who prey on the lonely and vulnerable and exploit people's desires for human connection to squeeze money out of whoever is unfortunate enough to fall for their lies. On the 30th of April, I, or more specifically our old mate Peter Carrotson, received the following email.
Hi, Peter. With this letter, I would like to seek for your attention. I know it's an unconventional way of reaching out to someone I've never met or heard of. I also hope you don't find this letter provocative or intruding. I write to seek your attention as friends. My name is Lisa Berg. I am from Sweden. I hope you won't view my contacting you strange, as I'm using a means as cold as this platform to reach you. This is the best I can do for now. My purpose of writing you is to seek your friendship. I hope it seats well with you, and you can write me back so we can communicate further and learn about each other. I look forward to hearing from you. Please write me back through this email. Yours, Lisa.
Now, obviously with her being Swedish and me knowing precisely bugger all about Sweden apart from ABBA, I decided to, at least in the beginning, try and slide an ABBA reference into every response. Hello, Lisa. Chiquitita, tell me, what's wrong? You're enchained by your own sorrow. In your eyes, there's no hope for tomorrow. Now, I hate to see you like this. There's no way you can deny it. I can see that you're so sad, so quiet. How can I help you? Peter. Lisa replied,
Peter, I hope this letter has reached you well. I hope that you are at your best and doing well. First, you have to understand that I was never expecting words from you. Never knew that the email would reach you. Right now, I don't even know how to properly respond to your email. Thank you for writing me back, despite reaching out to you in the manner that I did. I know you'll be skeptical as regards the motive behind this email. First, you need not to be scared, because I'm harmless, and I reached out to you because I want for us to be friends. As for how I came across your contact, I was on advanced search working a research. Somehow I stumbled upon your email on the Google search.
Oh, right, of course, yes. Just stumbled across my email address on Google, because that's how it works.
And decided that I should write to you, not as a friend though, but just being adventurous. Now I need your forgiveness if I intrude on your privacy in any way. We could be friends and get to know each other a lot better by writing and exchanging pictures if that's cool with you. Not even sure how to respond properly to your email. With time, we'll get more acquainted with each other. I'm single, never been married, and I do not have kids as of yet. I'm 36 years old, brown hair, brown eyes. I'm from a family of 3. I have 2 younger brothers, aged 27 and 24. I hope to hear from you again soon. Once more, thank you for writing back. Kind regards, Lisa.
I know, right? Heavy. Anyway, Lisa sent me the pictures she claimed were herself. A quick reverse image search reveals that these pictures have been used in romance scams loads of times before. I mean, it's not exactly a shock, but I always like to check just in case some random woman in Sweden genuinely is looking for friendship by emailing random email addresses on a whim. As it transpires from scouring through various scam trolling forums, these particular images were screen grabs from an adult webcam performer known as Love Mary for You. So, I decided that Peter Carrotson needed to go through a little transformation. Lisa Berg had the face of a literal porn star. She wasn't going to settle for a middle-aged, morbidly obese northerner. So I made a decision. Peter had to regenerate.
I don't want to go.
So, because his heart was in the right place, and the stars were too, Peter regenerated into a 30-year-old morbidly obese northerner.
Dear Lisa, I'm so glad to hear from you again, and by gum, you are a beautiful young lady. I mean, look into your angel eyes. One look and I'm hypnotized. You'll take my heart and I must pay the price. My name is Peter Gregorio Carrotson. I'm 38 years young and I work as a part-time balloon inflator for Amazon. I used to be full-time, but I put me back out after a particularly difficult puff in 2017, and now I can only manage a few days a week. Here are some photos of me. This is my headshot from my brief acting career. I had a small role in the West End production of The Sound of Music as Nazi number 4. This is from my 2019 trip to Disneyland. I'd put on a lot of weight after my back injury, so I wasn't in a good place mentally. But Mickey did help me. Eventually, I met my horse, Mabel, during the first lockdown in 2020. She's changed my life and brought me so much joy. Though I wish I had someone with less fur to share my life with. Thank you for getting in touch. Yours, Peter.
Peter, thank you for the note once more. I'm not familiar with this sort of long-distance communication, as this is my first experience. I work as a nurse. I studied at the University of Göteborg and got my master's in nursing and education. I'm not teaching yet because I enjoy my current job tremendously, and I want the flexibility to spend more time with doing the other things I want to do. I am very fit and take great care in staying that way, so I watch what I eat and I am very active. I don't like to drink too much because it only makes me sleepy. I don't smoke, I have never done drugs, and I do not intend to start. Write me and tell me about yourself, your likes and hates. I am waiting for you. I think with these, you will be able to imagine the kind of person I am. Have a nice day. I hope the email isn't too long for you to read. Kind regards, yours, Lisa.
Peter was utterly charmed.
Dear Lisa, it's lovely getting to know you and finding out more about you and your family. I originally trained in acting at Scambait University and moved down to London to try and make it as an actor. I had a few West End roles and a walk-on part in an episode of NCIS as Man with Kebab. But eventually I realised the career and performance simply wasn't going to bring in the bread. In 2010, I began my career as a balloon inflator with Amazon, where I met my late wife, Ethel. She was the one who tied the knots in the balloons after I blew them up. She was beautiful, olive-skinned, dark-haired. Actually, she looked quite a lot like you. Shortly after I injured my back and was forced to retire, I discovered my wife had been sleeping with our neighbour, Padre, the ice cream man. We were divorced 6 months later after only a year of marriage. She took everything. Me house, me car, me limited edition ABBA records. My, at Waterloo, Napoleon did surrender. Oh, yes, and I did meet my destiny in quite a similar way. The history book on the shelf is always repeating itself. Waterloo. I was defeated, she won the war. Waterloo. She promised to love me forevermore. She lied. About a year after we divorced, she married Padre. Then she was killed mysteriously, and he inherited my house, the Mr. Whippy cunt. These days, I must admit I've let myself go somewhat, as you can see in this picture of me on the golf course. To tell you the truth, Linda, and I feel like I can tell you the truth, I'm lonely. I've seen real tragedy in my life, from my failure as an actor to the betrayal and suspicious death of me wife, Ethel. All I want is a glimmer of hope in the never-ending blackness that is my life. I'm sorry this email took a dark turn. I'm just hoping you can bring a bit of light to my life, Lisa. I hope this email wasn't too long for you. Yours, Pete.
But Peter's dour tone did not put off Linda.
Peter, I read about you, and I see you as someone with charisma and a principled person, and I want to thank you for that. Thank you for giving us the chance to at least get to know each other. I know you might want to ask yourself from time to time why I chose to write you, and why I chose this medium to connect with someone. I want you to know that this is what I've always wanted to do. I've always had this dream of seeing the rest of the world. Call me an adventurer or something more. I've been out of relationship for the best part of 10 months now. I broke up with my ex-fiancée because of work-related issues, and my mom. We were going to get married, and he wanted me at that time to move with him to France, and it was at the time when Mom was struggling big time with her illness. So I turned it down and requested that he allow me a little more time to sort things out. He grew impatient, and we could no longer deal with the distance. I've been focusing on my work and trying to take care of my mom and get my life back in order. I have a lot of things I'll tell you when we meet at some point. I hope we are able to establish trust between us and learn about each other.
It's typical in romance scams for them to try and establish a rapport by sharing intimate and often tragic details about their imaginary lives. The asshole ex, the ill mother, everything is designed to make the victim feel closer to the scammer so that when they inevitably ask for money, the victim feels unable to refuse.
I want for this to work out between us. Like I said, we will have so many obstacles, but I want to have a great hope that in the end, it will all turn out well for us. I wish I knew more of what to say to you. I wish I knew something, anything to say that would encourage you. I want you to know that I'm a learner and willing to learn anything that is the truth. Perhaps we should take things one step at a time and see where this lands us. Kind regards, Lisa.
Note the choice of language. I want this to work. She's putting the responsibility on him, laying the groundwork so that he feels the fate of their friendship, relationship, or whatever is his responsibility. She wants it to work if only he'd send her a few $100s for a flight so that they could be together, for example. At this point, I had a busy few days and I neglected to reply to Lisa. After a few days, I remembered our fledgling relationship and got back in touch.
Lisa, I can't apologise enough for the lateness of this reply. Me internet's been down for the past week due to a mole infestation at KCOM. What a sad tale. Your ex was a fool to let you go. If it was me, I'd have waited 1,000,000 years for you. I'm glad you got in touch. It's nice to have someone to talk to and share me dreams with. You say you dream of travelling? Well, I do love to travel. If I'm honest though, I think my real dream is to get back on stage. I'd love to be in Mamma Mia someday. My rendition of Lay All Your Love on Me is particularly magnificent, if I do say so myself. It'd be lovely to see where this friendship leads. Perhaps to something more? With care, Peter.
Peter, you can't imagine how my face is glowing with smiles just reading your emails. I'm pretty sure you're fine and your day is starting well with you over there today. My intents are for this little note to find you well and make you happy and make your day. Yours already made my day. It's yet another day here, and I wanted to start my day with you. I think of things to tell you about me that will give you a lot more insight into who I am and how I lead my life here. One thing you should know, though, is that I'm a busy person. Mostly work-related. I'm at an eatery here, and I'm eating salmon salad with parsley and capers. You know what that is? To share more about my country with you, first, it's a beautiful country with wonderful sightseeings around. If you ever come here, I promise you won't regret making the journey. The only problem we have is that it's very costly to live here in Sweden. That is why I work Mondays through Friday. I don't work on weekends. For you to keep up with bills here, you have to work extra hours. Plus, I have an ailing mom battling cancer who doesn't live with me. She's staying in her country of origin, Lisbon, Portugal. So you now know that I'm half Swede and half Portuguese. After her and Dad separated, she went back to her country of origin.
Now here I'm pretty sure she's setting up what will eventually form the first payment in this scam, referring again to her mother's illness, setting up that her mother lives far away and how skint she is. It seems clear that eventually Peter's going to be asked to help pay for a visit to mother.
Thought you should also know that I am a left-hander.
Lol. Very punny.
I do most things with my left hand. I write with my left hand. What have you to say about that? I speak English with accent, too. I'm just trying to tell you stuffs about myself. I know that there are lots of things that we'll learn about each other when we get together. I believe it'll be fun, too. Thanks for telling me a lot about you. Just a part of my note to you. Expect more to come soon. Lisa.
While we're on the subject of mothers, Pete decided to delve into his family history, which should be oddly familiar to anyone who's ever seen Mamma Mia.
Lisa. My mother was a woman called Donna. She went travelling after she graduated from boarding school in Glasgow. She was a fun-loving, free-spirited soul. On her travels, she met and had relations with a young rocker by the name of Harry, along with two hippies, a Swedish man, which makes me feel oddly close to you, named Bill, and an American named Sam. I've no idea which of the men is my father, but for a long time we all lived on a little Greek island, and I thought of them each as a parent. Sam and my mother eventually married shortly after I turned 20. A few years later, my mother sadly died for no discernible reason, and I inherited her hotel. Sadly, the business went bust in the credit crunch, and that's how I ended up pursuing an acting career and eventually working for Amazon in the UK. Also, my grandmother is Cher. I've never told my family story to anyone before, but I feel close to you. I hope you managed to see your mother. With love, Peter.
I'm not quite sure how they didn't figure out I was taking the piss at that point, but they didn't, so we carried on.
Peter, hope you're fine and this note will find you well and make your day.
I don't know why, but the fact she repeatedly calls emails notes really boils my piss.
Thank you for accepting me as your friend, even though I know we still have a long way to go in getting to know one another. I believe we'll try and share and learn about each other in each and every note we exchange. Do you agree with me? My favorite colors are pink, purple, and blue. My flower liking varies, but I like these set of flowers mostly. They include roses, sunflower, daisies, iris, daffodils. You can say that I have a kind of wild taste, right? I have taste when it comes to jewelries. I wear both diamonds and pearls. I still have a whole lot of things to tell you about me and how I lead my life here, but guess that has to do with me. The goal is for you to be happy and learn all there's to learn about me. Always nice to have words from you. Lisa.
Dear Lisa, last night for my tea I had turkey twizzlers, oops and spam. It was bloody fantastic. I'm also an avid reader, everything from Zoo to Razzle. My favourite colour is green, and whilst I don't much care for flowers, I do have a little rockery in my backyard with some little herby bits and bobs. I like to travel too. In fact, I have a dream. A fantasy. It helps me cope with everything. It's simple. We both travel and see one another in person. That's my dream. I'd like that. Best wishes, yours, Peter.
Lisa ignored my suggestion we meet in person, perhaps because we're currently in the midst of a
global pandemic.
But more likely because she's a balding middle-aged man named Robbie.
Good evening. We've been writing each other for a little while now, and so I thought it would be a good time to tell you both about my good points and maybe my not-so-good points. So here goes. Hope this is not too boring. What I believe are my good points. Very caring. The person I love is always number one to me. Honest. I always say what is on my mind, even if it might not be what you want to hear. Affectionate. I love holding hands in public. I love to be kissed. Hardworking. I work sometimes 7 days a week. Of course, it's not an 8 or 10 hour day, but in my job, if I do not take care of my clients, someone else will. Clean. I like to try and keep a clean home with my 2 dogs. That is not always easy, but I try. I like to cook. I do enjoy cooking and making a romantic dinner for the 2 of us. Fun. I enjoy laughing. having fun. Life is too short not to enjoy it. Romantic. I like to be with the one I love and treat him as if he is the only person left on earth. Passionate. I do everything I can to ensure my partner is always satisfied, both in the bedroom and outside of it. Now for some of my not-so-good traits. I'm hot-tempered, working on it. I sometimes start too many projects and take too much time to complete any of them. I sleep in the nude. I have been doing that since I got out of high school.
Another common technique of romance scammers is to introduce a sexual element to the conversation. I've read about a case where the scammer manipulated the victim into sharing intimate images and video and then pretended to have been hacked. They then contacted the victim under a different name and attempted to blackmail them with the intimate content. It's a fucking disgusting trick that preys on people's desire for affection and intimacy. In fact, it's most likely why this scammer has chosen the image of a sex worker. I wouldn't be surprised if, down the line, they use stolen footage from a stream and pretend they've recorded the video for Peter. It's sickening.
Well, there you have it. Now you really are starting to know me. Hope this does not scare you away, but I thought you should know these things about me. Admirations, Lisa.
Peter was appropriately titillated by the thought of Ms. Berg sleeping in her birthday suit, so he responded,
Hello, Lisa. Don't worry, I'm not scared off in the slightest. What a lovely idea, sharing our good and bad points. It's nice to feel closer to you. I'd say the following are my good points. I am fiercely loyal. If I care for someone such as yourself, I will move heaven and earth to protect them. I have a fantastic sense of smell. I know all the words to ABBA's masterpiece, The Winner Takes It All. I have a bronze swimming certificate. My bad points. I suffer from halitosis. My left leg is 2 inches shorter than my right leg. If anything, I'm too generous. I regularly donate literally pounds to charity. I'm very gullible and will fall for anyone trying to take advantage of me. I'm addicted to honeycomb. I hope you're not put off by any of this. It's interesting you say you like to sleep in the nude. I usually wear silk pyjamas, but I do occasionally enjoy the feel of a soft duvet against my pink naked buttocks. Sorry if the image of me nude upsets you. With sincere affections, your Peter.
Lisa replied a couple of days later with the amazing idea that we try a quick Q&A to get to know each other better.
I thought I would ask you a few questions, and I hope these are okay with you. If you see something you do not want to answer, that is okay. Well, I hope these questions are not out of line and you do not get upset at me for asking some of them.
Peter, of course, obliged his new romantic interest by answering her questions.
Oh, a Q&A. What a lovely idea. What do you value most in a relationship? Loyalty. After my ex-wife left me for Padre the Ice Cream Man, all I want is someone honest and loyal. What is your favourite holiday of the year?
Oh, National Talk Like a Pirate Day.
What quality is most attractive to you in a partner?
Finely tuned timekeeping skills.
Have you ever driven a car? No, but I have driven a lorry. What is your relationship like with your parents? Sometimes I chat to their graves. They never answer. Have you ever been to other countries?
I travelled extensively across Canada in my late teens.
What are your long-term goals?
Lose some weight, find love, produce an heir.
Have you ever been fishing?
No, filthy habit.
Name 3 things you'd like to have in common with your partner.
Height, weight, favourite ice cream flavour.
If you could, where would you like to go on a vacation?
Renaissance Italy.
What makes you laugh?
Those Russian meerkat fellows they have on telly. Fucking hilarious.
What is your ideal romantic evening?
Bottle of cheap plonk, a plate of microwave spag bol and a movie.
What is one thing you will not tolerate in a relationship?
Fishing.
What is your favorite color?
Mauve.
What is your biggest strength and weakness?
My biggest strength is the ability to know my weaknesses. My biggest weakness is thinking I'm stronger than I am.
Which do you like more, chocolate or ice cream?
Chocolate ice cream.
Are you family orientated?
Yes. I want kids so bad, it's just not happened for me yet.
Would you enjoy taking a shower with your partner?
Most definitely, though we need a larger shower.
How do you spend your downtime?
Drunk.
Do you have a favorite position for
making love?
Reverse astronaut on a unicycle. What do you believe is your worst quality?
I'm just too handsome.
What do you like your partner to do whilst
making love?
I'm a simple man in the bedroom. Just slip into your Donald Duck costume and work your magic. Are you a grudge holder?
No, I'm not, despite what my bitch of an ex-wife said about me. Before she was killed, that is.
What is the longest relationship you've been in and why did it end? Why did it end? Why did it end? Longer than I care to remember. And it ended because she decided to lick a Spaniard's ice lolly when me back was turned, bitch. For what in life do you feel the most grateful? The impeccable vocal talents of ABBA.
And that's all we've got time for today on Lisa's Q&A. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next week.
I enjoyed that. Here are my 7 questions for you to answer. Number 1, what is your favourite flavour of crisp? 2, if you could be any animal, what could you be? 3, what's the kinkiest thing you've ever done? Number 4, do you like cheese? Number 5, have you ever been to Guam? Number 6, what's your favourite ABBA song? Number 7, would you consider visiting the UK? I look forward to your answers. Love, Peter.
I didn't get a reply. I wondered if my attempt to drive the scammer off script by asking direct questions had caused an issue. So on Monday the 31st of May, about 3 days after my last email from Lisa, I sent another email in an attempt to reel her back in.
Hello, Lisa, darling. It's been a few days now and I haven't heard from you. Is everything all right? I've got so used to speaking to you, it feels wrong going through the day without you. I'd love to be able to hear your voice. Do you think you'd be able to send me a video of yourself? Nothing fancy, just something short so I can see you.
And here's where the forward planning comes in. See, I deliberately made young Peter look a little bit like myself. I know that with the right lighting and recording in low quality, I could make myself look enough like Peter to get away with it. So I said,
I could do the same in return. Please come back, Lisa. When you're gone, how can I even try to go on? When you're gone, though I try, how can I carry on? You dear Peter.
So far, I've had no response. And that is why this is part 1. See, romance scams aren't like advance fee scams. In an AF scam, the victim usually knows very quickly after they've handed over money that they've been conned. In an AF scam, the scammer wants to get the scam over as quickly as possible. In a romance scam, the scammer takes their time setting up a narrative, reeling in the victim. They'll often trick the victim into making payment after payment after payment on the pretense of buying plane tickets, getting a visa, medical issues. There will, of course, always be some last-second reason why any plans to meet up fall through. That's the nature of the con. And the nature of this con means that it's likely going to be an ongoing project for weeks, months, even years to come. So we'll drop back in with Lisa if and when there's any more to share. Who knows how many parts of this odyssey of love we'll end up having. For now, I hope you enjoyed this slightly different episode of Scam Watch, and I'll see you next month. Bye-bye.
I've been cheated by you since I don't know when. So I made up my mind, it must come to an end. Look at me now, will I ever learn? I don't know how, but I suddenly lose control. There's a fire within me soul. Just one look and I forget everything. One more look and I can hear a bell ring. Whoa, whoa, mamma mia, here I go again. My, how can I resist you? Mamma mia, does it show again? My, just how much I've missed you. Yes, I've been broken-hearted, blue since the day we parted. Why did I ever let you go? Mamma mia, now I really know. My, I could not let you go.